What does it take to be a successful musician? I thought today we'd just talk about replicating success. Hi everybody, my name's Jeff Price and I'm the host of Intentional Musicianship, where we talk about all things that lead to success at center stage. Now today's episode is inspired by one of my mentors and friends, Dr. Heidi Begay. She runs Flute 360. Around 18 months ago, she ran an episode very similar to this one. Now, musicians, we're always practicing and we're putting in the extra work and we're stacking days to improve. But sometimes we need to realize we've actually yoked ourselves to these amazing instructors, amazing teachers, incredible recordings, videos that we're apprenticing with, that we have role models, we have mentors, informal and formal, people that don't even know that we're walking behind them every step along the way so that we can be like them at the end of our journey and have success. Now, there's no doubt that success is defined personally by each and every one of us about where we want to be, what field we want to be in, where we want to be, so to speak, when we grow up. And I'll let you know when I grow up what I want to be, but I just love being around all these wonderful musicians with all these diverse, amazing paths. And I think that's the point of replicating success today that I want to bring out. There isn't just one way to be successful. If there is a place that you'd like to be in the near term, short term, or long term, it's important to surround yourself with a community and people that are like-minded. You know, I've done a lot of schooling, whether it be West Virginia University, Northwestern, all the schools in the Army, Syracuse University, Villanova, Westchester University, and I've been educated on a variety of topics. And even apart from that, I'm involved with a lot of different professional communities to stay involved as an adult learner, as a continual learner. And I also have bought many courses by all these people you see online, these influencers, so to speak. Many of them that I trust and I value, I have on my website and how they've influenced me and why I think that they're really awesome. But your mileage is going to vary with each of them depending on where you'd like to go and what you'd like to do. It would be easy for me to tell you exactly who to go to, but I think it's important to open yourselves up to where you'd like to go and really dissect how that person got there. And in the same way that you have to create your sound and you're always role modeling that in the same way that you role modeled your parents as you spoke, as you walked, as you have your mannerisms, we do that with other musicians all the time in the things that we do. Some things, though, I want to caution you with is that what got them to their position of success won't necessarily get you there. So you might have to adapt. The marketplace changes over time. The skills that were needed then or for that position or how they got there, well, the doors of that area might have opened and closed, and you might have to adapt. And that's a skill of itself that we could talk about later. Understand that even if you're role modeling the best of the best, they're still not you. They still don't have your skills. They don't have your talent. And in the end, you're becoming a unicorn, so to speak, with your unique abilities and talents. And so I'd just like to leave you with an encouragement to evaluate the people that you're with, where they're going, how you fit in with them, where you're going, and to always have those feelers out to take a great tool from someone that's great. You know, when we go to a concert or we go to a conference, we're always looking out for the good stuff. And I was fortunate this year. I went to the Ohio Music Educators Association convention, and they had it in Cleveland this year, and I got to present. And then I went a month later and I was able to teach again at West Virginia Music Educators. And the thing I was struck wasn't that I was able to present, even though that was really awesome. It was that everyone goes to these concerts and chamber performances and all of these sessions on how to educate and how to perform. They're all taking the good stuff from these talks and performances and they want to take them back and they want to replicate what they saw. This is the good stuff that they're still striving for as a continual learner, as an adult learner, as an educator. And it never really ends. And so you're always going to have the people that were really influential to you. Over time, depending on what you're doing, you may have to go to a different field to fill a gap, to get something covered that within the marketplace, a skill that you don't have. Always be open-minded so that you can adapt to what is needed so that you can be successful. I remember being up at a music store in Pittsburgh, Volkweins, and that's where I got all my instruments done. And I met an educator who right out of Slippery Rock University, one of the area schools up around Pittsburgh, around an hour north, had just got a position. Well, it turned out Slippery Rock was really smart. They offered a pre-K through 12 program. Down here in West Virginia, not as many of the schools offer a pre-K through 12, but he had applied for a job that particularly needed a pre-K through 12. He was a perfect fit for the job. The background was a perfect fit for the job. He had worked himself in a position for the marketplace where he was put in a position to succeed. And that's just an example of many things. You might have a mentor who puts you in a position to sub for them at a particular orchestra, gets you to know other people, allows you the opportunity to understand how to get into different sub lists and different settings. People that allow you to be in the workplace of others while they're doing recording sessions so you understand the process so that eventually then you get called into those sessions or you get called to work or lead those sessions. You know, it's all about networking and communicating and growing as a person. And there's lots of ways to replicate this success. In the old days, we used to call it just apprenticeship. We're taking these valuable skills that we learn from people in the same way that we learn from our family and our parents and things like that. And we're doing the same thing with these other musicians. So choose wisely, grow, and be your best. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Intentional Musicianship. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. I'd love to hear what kind of things that you have developed and worked on as musicians. If I can help you in any way, just please reach out. Go to intentionalmusicianship.com. Thanks again for listening. I hope you join us on the next episode of Intentional Musicianship.